Maduro just fell, and the world just changed. Not because a dictator was removed, but because the geopolitical order just shifted. And you need to understand what this means for your money, for your country, for your future. For decades, Venezuela was under Maduro's control. A failed state, hyperinflation, starvation, millions of refugees fleeing to neighboring countries. And the world watched, helpless or complicit, depending on your perspective. But this week, something happened. Maduro was arrested. The regime fell. And suddenly, the entire geopolitical landscape changed. This isn't just about Venezuela. This is about America's power, China's influence, Brazil's future, and your investment strategy. Because when regimes fall, markets move, capital flows, opportunities emerge. And if you understand the mechanics, you can position yourself correctly. If this interests you, leave a like and comment what you think happens next in Venezuela. Because the answer will tell you if you understand geopolitics or if you're just following the news.
Here's what most people don't understand about Maduro's fall. It's not an isolated event. It's part of a larger pattern, the breakdown of multilateralism. For 70 years, the world operated under a system: the United Nations, international law, diplomatic channels. Countries disagreed, but they followed the rules. The system wasn't perfect, but it was predictable. But that system is breaking down. And Maduro's fall is evidence of that breakdown, because his fall didn't come through diplomatic channels. It didn't come through the UN. It came through pressure, through sanctions, through military posturing, through the threat of intervention. This is the New World Order, not a system based on rules, but a system based on power. And whoever has the most power makes the rules. America has the most power. So America is making the rules. And Maduro didn't follow the rules. So Maduro fell. This is the reality of 2025. Multilateralism is dead. And we're entering an era of great power competition. China versus America. Russia versus America. Brazil versus America. And Venezuela is caught in the middle. This matters for your portfolio because geopolitical instability creates opportunities and also risks. You need to understand both.
Now let's talk about the real issue, Venezuela's economy. Most people think Venezuela is rich. They think it has oil, and therefore it should be wealthy. But that's not how it works. Having oil doesn't make you rich. Having the ability to extract, refine, and sell oil makes you rich. And Venezuela has lost that ability. The infrastructure is old. The refineries are broken. The extraction technology is outdated. The oil itself is heavy and expensive to extract. And the political instability has scared away investment for decades. So Venezuela's oil reserves are massive, but they're useless. Without billions of dollars in investment, without modern technology, without political stability, without a functioning government, Venezuela's oil is a liability, not an asset. This is the harsh reality. Maduro's fall doesn't change this overnight. It takes decades to rebuild infrastructure, decades to attract investment, decades to retrain workers, decades to restore confidence. So even though Maduro fell, Venezuela's economic recovery will be slow, very slow. This matters because people are expecting a quick recovery. They're expecting oil prices to drop. They're expecting Venezuelan oil to flood the market. But that's not going to happen. Not for years, maybe decades.
Now let's talk about Brazil, because Brazil is the big winner here. Geographically, Brazil is next to Venezuela. Economically, Brazil needs energy, cheap energy, and Venezuela has oil, even if it takes years to extract. Even if the infrastructure is broken, eventually, Venezuela will produce oil again. And when it does, Brazil will benefit. Cheaper energy, cheaper fuel, cheaper electricity. This is huge for Brazil's economy because energy is the foundation of everything. Cheaper energy means cheaper production costs. Cheaper production costs mean more competitive exports. More competitive exports mean economic growth. So Brazil wins. But Brazil also faces a risk. Immigration. Millions of Venezuelans have already fled to neighboring countries. And if the recovery is slow, more will flee. And many will come to Brazil. This creates social pressure, housing pressure, job market pressure, healthcare pressure. So Brazil wins economically, But Brazil also faces a social challenge. This is the complexity of geopolitics. There are no pure wins, only trade-offs.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room: immigration. Millions of Venezuelans have fled their country to Colombia, to Peru, to Ecuador, to Brazil. And if the recovery is slow, more will come. This is a humanitarian crisis, but it's also an economic and political crisis for the countries receiving them. Brazil has already received hundreds of thousands of Venezuelan refugees, and the social fabric is straining. Housing is becoming scarce. Jobs are becoming competitive. Wages are being pushed down. Schools are becoming overcrowded. Healthcare is becoming strained. This is creating political pressure. And political pressure creates policy changes. And policy changes create market movements. So the immigration risk is real. And it's not just humanitarian. It's economic. It's political. It's geopolitical. And if you're invested in Brazil, you need to understand this risk. Because mass immigration can destabilize a country. And destabilization creates market volatility.
Now let's talk about the opportunities. Because there are opportunities. Companies that benefit from Venezuelan instability. Companies that benefit from energy price changes. Companies that benefit from geopolitical shifts. These companies exist. And they're trading right now. Energy companies that can fill the void left by Venezuelan oil. Construction companies that can rebuild Venezuelan infrastructure. Financial companies that can facilitate the transition. Technology companies that can modernize Venezuelan systems. These companies will benefit. And if you position yourself correctly, you can benefit too. But this requires understanding the mechanics. Understanding which companies benefit. Understanding the timeline. Understanding the risks. This is where most investors fail. They see an opportunity. They buy. They don't understand the mechanics. And they lose money. So you need to be careful. You need to do your research. You need to understand the risks. And you need to position yourself accordingly.
Here's the harsh truth. Venezuela's recovery will be slow. Very slow. People are expecting a quick turnaround. They're expecting oil to flow. They're expecting investment to pour in. They're expecting democracy to be restored. But that's not how it works. Rebuilding a country takes time. Rebuilding infrastructure takes time. Rebuilding trust takes time. Rebuilding democracy takes time. Venezuela has been destroyed. Economically, politically, socially. And rebuilding all of that takes decades. Not years. Decades. So if you're expecting a quick recovery, you're going to be disappointed. And if you're investing based on a quick recovery, you're going to lose money. But if you understand that the recovery will be slow, you can position yourself correctly. You can invest for the long term. You can understand the risks. You can manage your expectations. And you can make money.
Here's what we need now. Not geopolitical games. Not military posturing. Not sanctions. Not intervention. What we need is stabilization. Regional stabilization. Venezuela needs to stabilize. Politically, economically, socially. And the world needs to help. Not through military intervention. Not through sanctions. But through investment. Through trade. Through dialogue. Through cooperation. Because a stable Venezuela benefits everyone. It benefits Brazil. It benefits Colombia. It benefits Peru. It benefits Ecuador. It benefits the world. And it benefits Venezuelans. Millions of Venezuelans want to go home. Millions of families want to be reunited. Millions of refugees want to rebuild their lives. And millions of investors want to invest. So what we need is a path to stability, a path to democracy, a path to economic recovery. Without foreign intervention, without military pressure, but with international cooperation. This is the only way forward. And if we can achieve this, everyone wins. If we can't, everyone loses. So regardless of your politics, regardless of your nationality, you should be rooting for stability. Not for conflict, not for intervention, but for stability. Because stability is good for business. Stability is good for people. And stability is good for the world.